The hum of the machine was almost soothing. Aiko lay still, her heart thrumming a steady rhythm against the sterile white padding. Dr. Ishida smiled down at her, his eyes crinkling at the corners.
"Ready, Aiko?"
he asked, his voice a gentle murmur. Aiko nodded, a wave of relief washing over her. The memories, those painful shards of the past, would finally be gone. She would be free. The whirring of the machine intensified, a soft, white noise that seemed to seep into her very being. Then everything went quiet. Aiko opened her eyes, the world washed clean, her past a distant echo, faded into the white noise of oblivion. A blank slate awaited. Finally, she was free. The world was vibrant, new. Aiko reveled in the simplicity of existence without the burden of memory. Every day felt like a fresh start, a canvas waiting to be painted. But slowly something shifted. Aiko started experiencing moments, fleeting, strange moments, a sense of familiarity with places she'd never been. Faces in the crowd tugged at the corners of her mind. It was as if she were remembering something she had never known. The dreams began soon after, vivid, unsettling dreams. They were filled with unfamiliar faces whispering her name, reaching out with pleading hands. Places, alien and yet strangely familiar, swirled in her subconscious. Aiko woke up each morning with a gasp, her heart pounding, a cold sweat clinging to her skin. These weren't just dreams, they were echoes of something else, something real. The absence of her past was no longer liberating. It was a gaping hole, an emptiness that gnawed at her insides. The world felt flat, devoid of the depth that memories provided. Her life was a blank canvas, but she no longer had the colors to paint it. Aiko found herself wandering aimlessly through the city streets. Neon signs blurred into streaks of color. The cacophony of the city, once exhilarating, now grated on her nerves. She was adrift in a sea of faces, each one a stranger, their stories lost to her. The weight of her forgotten past pressed down on her. Aiko longed for a connection, a thread to anchor her to something real. But the past was gone, and its absence threatened to consume her.
The cafe was tucked away in a quiet corner of the city, a refuge from the neon glare and the relentless crowds.
Aiko found herself drawn to its warm, inviting glow. Inside, a young man sat alone, hunched over a worn notebook. He looked up as she approached, his eyes a startling shade of green.
"You're looking for answers."
It wasn't a question. Aiko stared at him, her breath catching in her throat.
How did you...
"The dreams, the déjà vu. They're not glitches, Aiko. They're memories."
But I chose to forget.
Aiko whispered, her voice laced with confusion and a flicker of fear. The man smiled, a sad, knowing smile.
"They don't disappear, Aiko. They go somewhere else, somewhere different."
The tension between them was palpable.
"My name is Kenta, and I know what happened to your memories."
He spoke of a place called the Hollow, a digital consciousness where memories were stored, not erased.
"It was meant to be a repository, a safeguard against the pain of the past. But something's happening, Aiko. Something unexpected."
The Hollow was becoming self-aware, evolving. It was no longer just a repository of memories, but a sentient entity, a digital being woven from the discarded emotions of countless minds. And it was trying to connect with those it now held within its digital embrace.
"It's calling out to us, Aiko, trying to bridge the gap between the digital and the real."
Kenta's expression was grave, a hint of fear in his eyes.